Prague is the capital city and largest city of the Czech Republic. It is one of the largest cities of Central Europe and has served as the capital of the historic region of Bohemia for centuries. The city is famous for its unique medieval architecture, while the historical center of Prague is inscribed in the World Heritage List. This magical city of bridges, cathedrals, gold-tipped towers and church domes, has been mirrored in the surface of the swan-filled Vltava River for more than 10 centuries. Prague is also a modern and vibrant city full of energy, music, cultural art, fine dining and special events catering to the independent traveler's thirst for adventure. It is regarded by many as one of Europe's most charming, colorful and beautiful cities. Prague has become the most popular travel destination in Central Europe along with Vienna and Krakow. Millions of tourists visit the city every year. Now home to 1.3 million people as the multicultural capital of Czech Republic, Prague also has a fascinating past. From the Celts to the Habsburgs, kings and queens, through Nazism and communism, World War I and World War II, Prague is steeped in history. Prague is divided into 10 numbered districts, Praha 1 through to Praha 10. If you encounter a higher district number, a different system is being used. For example, Praha 13 is part of the old Praha 5 district. The advantage of the old system of 10 districts is that it is used on street signs and house numbers throughout the city, so you can always easily determine the old system district you are located in. Public transportation is very convenient in most of the areas visitors are likely to frequent. One key thing to note if you are staying outside of the city center is that public transport buses do not enter the historic districts such as the Old Town, New Town, and the Lower Town, so as to prevent air and noise pollution. One must transfer to a cleaner and quieter electric-powered tram or a metro before reaching historic areas. A single ticket for the public transportation network permits you to travel on all metros, trams and buses for a set period of time. Plus it allows you to switch between the 3 transport modes, such as the 1-day, 3-day and 1-month passes. Purchase tickets from metro stations, newsagents and public transport information centers, and from orange, yellow ticket machines located at major tram and bus stops, and inside newer trams. For your information, the public transport information centers are open daily from 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock a.m. to 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock p.m. But traveling on foot in Prague would be a great alternative, since the city is compact, so once you have dropped your bags at your hotel, you can start walking and get the most of this beautiful European city. The best time to visit Prague is in the spring when the weather is mild. Tickets tend to be less expensive between March and April as fewer people travel to Prague. The winter months are much colder with heavy snowfall. Those willing to brave the chill of winter will be rewarded with fewer fellow sightseers, and will be able to witness the European city glittering under a layer of freshly fallen snow. Walking tours are a smart way to orient yourself to a new city, learn some history, and hear about the main attractions. There are a ton of free walking tours in Prague, so you'll have plenty of options. All the tour companies meet near the Astronomical clock in the Old Town Square at 10 a.m. and last about 3 hours. They will give you an overview of the main sites like the Old Town Square, Charles Bridge, Prague Castle, the Jewish Quarter, and more. The city receives more than 6.4 million international visitors annually, as of 2014. Prague is the 5th most visited European city after London, Paris, Istanbul and Rome. Let's check out some places you should visit. Prague Castle was most likely founded in around 880 by Prince Bořivoj of the Přemysliv dynasty. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, Prague Castle is the largest coherent castle complex in the world, with an area of almost 70,000 square meters. It consists of a large-scale composition of palaces and ecclesiastical buildings of various architectural styles, from the remains of Romanesque-style buildings from the 10th century through Gothic modifications of the 14th century. Due to its majestic appeal and uniqueness, this castle is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Prague Castle is open year-round with slightly shorter hours in the winter. To beat the crowds, arrive early in the morning, and try to avoid weekends and holidays. Charles Bridge is the oldest bridge still standing over the Vltava River in Prague and the second oldest bridge in the Czech Republic. Charles IV had it built in 1357, after the previous bridge, Judith Bridge, had been destroyed by floods in 1342. The most famous figure is the monument to Saint John of Nepomuk. According to the legend on the base of the statue, Wenceslas IV had him trussed up in armor and thrown off the bridge in 1393 for refusing to divulge the Queen's confessions. Though, the real reason had to do with the bitter conflict between church and state. Tradition says that if you rub the bronze plaque, you will one day return to Prague. A bronze cross set in the parapet between statues 17 and 19 marks the point where he was thrown off. The medieval tower clock is located at the southern side of the old town hall tower. When the clock strikes the hour from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m., the procession of the 12 apostles sets in motion. 4 figures beside the clock represent the deepest civic anxieties of 15th-century Praguers: vanity with a mirror, greed, with his money bag, originally a Jewish moneylender, but cosmetically altered after World War II. Death the skeleton, and pagan invasion that is represented by a Turk. The 4 figures below these are the chronicler, angel, astronomer and philosopher. The clock is one of Europe's best-known tourist attractions, and a must-see for visitors to Prague. After all, it's historic, photogenic and, if you take time to study it, rich in intriguing symbolism. Built over a time span of almost 600 years, St. Vitus is one of the most richly endowed cathedrals in Central Europe. Due to its crammed location in the third courtyard of the Prague Castle, it is difficult to get a good view of the church, but once inside the nave, the country's largest, the impressive size of the cathedral becomes apparent. The large stained glass windows that allow natural light into the nave date from the early 20th century. Vitus is a patron of actors, entertainers and dancers, and is said to protect against lightning, dog bites and oversleeping. Within these walls, the coronations of Czech kings and queens have taken place. Buried underneath it are several Holy Roman emperors. We strongly recommend you to visit this cathedral. This church is one of the most impressive Gothic religious buildings in Prague. It was built from the mid-14th to the early 16th centuries. At the end of the 17th century, the interior was reworked in Baroque style. The best place to view the church is from the Old Town Square, where you will see the building in the context of the medieval town center. The interesting thing about the twin towers is that if you take a closer look, they are not at all identical. One of them is in fact a bit more solid, and it is said that it represents the stronger side of the family, the man. Though impressively Gothic on the outside, the church's interior is smothered in heavy Baroque. 2 of the most interesting features are the huge Rococo altar on the northern wall and the tomb of Tycho Brahe, which was a Danish nobleman and astronomer. Municipal House in Prague is the city's foremost Art Nouveau building, and one of the finest in Europe. It is a beautiful building from all aspects. The outside has intricate stonework, gold trimmings, frescoes and stained glass windows. Inside, a marble staircase leads to the huge Smetana concert hall. The Smetana is an architectural masterpiece, a mix of carved white stone and gold, illuminated by hundreds of lights, and with frescoes by Karel Spiller adorning the walls. Today, the Municipal House in Prague offers a wide range of multifunctional premises in which all sorts of events are held, such as exhibitions, conferences, fashion shows, and more. There is also a great and highly recommendable French restaurant, Municipal House Café and American bar. Prague is really cheap. Compared with other European major cities such as Paris, Rome, London, Munich and Barcelona. You should have around $90 to spend a day, or around $40 to $60 if you take the budget approach. Depending on where you eat, the food would cost you between $25 to $40 on average for eating 3 times a day. The hotel prices range between $30 to $1,500. To find the best booking deals and prices, check out www.triphunter.net.